SMT Nation, we back. Nation, the article from Dano Light Reading has some really interesting topics in it, specifically looking at Verizon, and they've got this conference in Barcelona. The CFO is talking, answering questions about what's going on with the company, and there's something from there within this article that I wanted to discuss in this video. Let's do that here. We're going to be talking about convergence, the bundle. You know, Verizon 5G home internet and Verizon wireless mobile customer sales. There's a disconnect there. All right, some incredible numbers here to discuss. I'll be sure to link the article for you. It'll be in the description. Ways to support the SMT. Show your appreciation for the content here on the channel. Also in the description. Okay, so Verizon is in a very interesting situation. They have found themselves to be one of the fastest growing broadband providers in the country. And I'm not just talking about mobility here. Like, they're one of the fastest growing home internet companies. Well, it's T-Mobile's number one and Verizon's number two. Big cable is not growing. Neither Charter nor Spectrum is really growing. I think as a net, they might even be negative. I think Comcast is big negative, and I think Spectrum is slightly positive. Right? And it's because of fixed wireless, because of Verizon and T-Mobile. Now, something that we've got to make sure we keep in the forefront of this discussion is bundling. That's what everybody is doing. Big cable is bundling because now they sell mobile services, right? And, you know, T-Mobile and Verizon are bundling, right? Because they offer mobile service. Now they have the fixed wireless piece. And now it's all about deepening the customer relationship, getting a customer as your mobile subscriber and then getting them on fixed wireless if you're T-Mobile or Verizon. However, Verizon disclosed some important information today. They said, we're not seeing that huge demand that others have seen elsewhere. In response to a question about convergence, he said that they have just 10% of Verizon Wireless customers subscribed to the converged bundle. Here's why this is important and here's why this is concerning. The rest of the industry is seeing incredible growth in the convergence piece. Comcast, Xfinity, Charter, and Spectrum is seeing insane amounts of growth in mobile convergence. And then with respect to T-Mobile and fixed wireless access with the 5G home internet, they're adding 500, 600,000 a quarter in that converged product. And most of those customers have T-Mobile home internet. Also have T-Mobile wireless service, right? More than 10%. So what's up with Verizon? Why is Verizon not enjoying that same convergence growth? Who's taking the Verizon home internet service? Folks, these are people that don't have Verizon Wireless. 90% of them do not. That means those folks are keeping AT&T or they are keeping T-Mobile and they are not going to Verizon for wireless service. Verizon wants that. They want it really badly, right? Verizon's moneymaker is the mobile plans. Their ARPU's like $64 a month, which is like almost $10 higher than AT&T and almost like $15, $14 higher than T-Mobile, right? So they need to convert this. I don't know what they're doing at Verizon internally. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know what the goal is, but they have to address this. They've got to convert more than 10% of their wireless base to 5G home. In fact, if I was the CEO, CFO, if I was these folks, I would be looking to double that number in the next year. At least to 20% penetration. At least. You got to. Right? That would be huge. That would be a game changer. And I would say by 2025, you'd probably want to increase at 3x. 30, 40%. Because you'd have C-band national, and those rural customers are dying for a competitor for slow DSL, bad satellite, or overpriced cable or fiber. So that number's got to come up. And look, I'm not smarter than the folks at Verizon and their executive teams. They know these numbers and they know what they want to accomplish. I look at this as a growth opportunity. So Verizon definitely going to probably want to address this. But that's incredible. Don't you guys think that's kind of a weak number? Isn't that kind of showing some weakness in what Verizon is taking to the market right now? At least it's not resonating with the marketplace. right? The customer in this mature market is not willing to leave to go to Verizon Wireless, but they'll take their home internet. It's an interesting conundrum. I wonder how Verizon is going to deal with this and execute this in the future. Maybe there's something they could do, right? Maybe the key is, something else on the wireless side, because they just raised pricing on the 5G home internet by $10. So that's not going to make it more attractive. Maybe they're apathetic to this. Maybe they don't even respond. Maybe they're good. Maybe they're just like, hey, we'll take the growth when it comes, even if it's slow. Maybe it's 15% next year and 20% the year after that. I don't know. But I will tell you, investors are going to want to see that number come up. And they're going to ask about this number at a later time. I don't know if Sciatis realizes this, but this will become the topic of discussion at the next earnings conference. This will get asked again. It's a big factor. Oh, this is huge, right? This is a big detail. We're following it. We're tracking it. We'll see how this plays out in the future. What do you guys think? What's holding Verizon back? And then what do you think is the outcome? Do you guys think they can improve this number? I see it as a growth opportunity. We'll see how they execute it. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.